Hey everybody, it's Connor, and I just had to jump on to address Elon Musk's interview at the New York Times Dealbook Summit because the guy is a huge figure in the AI space, and I'm watching this thing and I'm like, this looks like a meltdown, and where to even begin? Because listen, if this guy was just like an influencer, you'd think, oh, he's trying to get attention or something like that. But he is not. He is like building the cars that were flying down the highway at 70 miles an hour and the things that are cannoning people into space and everything like that. And he happens to own maybe the most powerful social platform, which is responsible for all kinds of disgusting discourse, which of course he has no problem contributing to with hideous anti-Semitic stuff. But here's the thing. He publicly apologized for that. I'm not here to defend Elon. I'm not here to also bash him or anything like that. I just want to get into what he was doing because, again, this guy's colossal in the AI space. And he was there for the beginning of OpenAI. And you can't say that he's not a genius. And now with Grock, Elon's and X's, large language model, they have raised their flag in the AI world as a competitor to OpenAI, to Google, to Anthropic, to everybody else. And so how far you think that will go, of course, is up for debate. But Elon completely intends X to be an AI company. Now, here is why that matters, and here's why that meltdown matters. Because when Elon is having a meltdown at the Dealbook Summit, we have to ask, is it a meltdown or is he doing something? And I have thoughts, and it's related directly to AI and Grock. But let's start here. So Elon sits down with this, at the Dealbook Summit with Andrew Ross Sorkin, who's a columnist there, and he makes headlines for a few different reasons. But I just want to focus on one, and I want to focus with start with his answer when he was asked about this, the anti-Semitic remarks that he's made, and then he noted that he'd apologized for these things. But that led to a really weird place, and I want to actually read the transcript of this. Okay, so here it goes. Just a little bit of it, don't worry. So Sorkin, the interviewer, is like, so what was that trip to Israel like? And obviously there's a public perception that you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that it was part of this apology tour, if you will. This has been said online, that there was all this criticism. There were advertisers leaving. Elon interrupts. I hope they stop. Sorkin, wait, you hope they stop like they don't advertise, like you don't want them? What do you mean? Elon Musk. If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, go bleep yourself. Go bleep yourself. He repeats it. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob Iger, you're in the audience. That's how I feel. So Sorkin says, let me ask you then, if part of the underlying model released today, maybe it needs to shift. Maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is one part of your business where you'll be beholden, Elon kind of interrupts and says GFY, which you can imagine what that stands for. And Sorkin's like, I understand that. But anyway, that's the end of the part I wanted to read. Why is this so important in the AI world? Because I don't know if this is a play. And my guess, if I had to, is that Elon is trying to ride this kind of populist wave that brought, Trump into power with the distrust of the media. And Elon is sort of extending that to advertisers. But the problem is that Twitter, X, doesn't keep the lights on with votes. It keeps the lights on with money from advertisers and subscribers. So I don't really know how that works unless, and this is what I just want us to consider and would love your thoughts on this, because I don't know if I'm crazy or if he's crazy. Unless he's really just trying to successfully lure people into what he wants to be, this AI company, right? And here's how he would be doing it. You may have noticed, and Elon definitely noticed, that OpenAI, which he left early, is worth about $90 billion. That has to absolutely kill him. He signed this letter saying everybody has to stop with their AI stuff. It's too dangerous, which I believe good people signed that letter, but his was totally disingenuous. He's like the kid in the race being like, hang on, a timeout. And then he starts running when you stop. How might this meltdown affect Grock, which is the large language model kind of done by X, Twitter, and the fact that this is supposed to be kind of a competitor to ChatGPT and everybody else, because that is a crowded space, my friends, and there are a lot of really strong players, and Grock does not have the horsepower of a GPT-4 or of Anthropic's models or anything like that. So here's the thing, right? Grock's big thing should be that it's trained on Twitter data, instant news. My friends, that is gold. I know Twitter is kind of a gross place, but my feed is just all AI news. I get stuff from there up to the minute. I would absolutely use it. It would be a game changer. But here's the thing. That doesn't seem to be the big selling point of Grock, or at least not the thing that makes the headlines, because Grock's big thing isn't that it's trained on Twitter data. I mean, it is. They do advertise that. I'm not saying that. But what they're really talking about, and what Elon loves to talk about, is how snarky it is, how it sort of sounds like Elon, how it gives you answers that, the media won't like and people don't think are politically correct, and all those boring large language models. It's got an attitude, doesn't play by the rules. Here's my question. Will that work? And I don't mean that rhetorically. Let's think about something like Inflection AI, right? Which is a $1.3 billion company. In fact, I think it's valued at like $4 billion or something like that. But it has like Bill Gates, Eric Schmidt, Reid Hoffman. It's CEOs, Mustafa Suleyman, who's obviously the DeepMind guy. Inflection's a serious model. But what's Inflection's thing, right? Inflection has Pi, the chatbot competitor, ChatGPT competitor. What is its angle? It's designed to be a sportive, empathetic, digital companion that can have conversations, give advice, answer questions, be a coach, a confidant, a creative partner. That's worth billions. That attitude, combined with the power behind it, but that attitude. So what's Elon's play with Grock? If Grock works and this snarky model like this, then advertisers be damned. And this is what Elon wants. He wants X to be an AI company. And if Grock is supposed to be like him, and this is the kind of thing he is willing to say, I'm not sure this was a meltdown. I'm not sure this wasn't a whole play furthering his AI dreams. Listen, Elon's not dumb. I might be crazy. He might be crazy. Would love to know what you think. And we didn't even touch on Neuralink. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, that's for another time. Would love to hear what you think. Stay tuned.